So I'm just gonna go blast through these 10 signs a Japanese girls give to show you that you can take them home. It's a Japanese article. Again, I recommend using Deep L. Just go back after this later and check it out. I do one thing I do want to say is my opinion thinking of reading this, not on the first date. I'd say second or third date. These kind of things apply for second or third date. I don't agree with all of the signs here, and I don't agree with all the signs here, but I do think there is something to add to a lot of them. So I'm going to blast through these just real quick and get up out of here. So the first one, first sign that a Japanese girl gives to let you know that you can take them home on the second or third date, I'd say, or beyond, is the date she invites you out late, right? You've heard me talk about this before if you're a long time listener. Like anything past like 9:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on the date is like it's you going to Pound Town. Okay. Like, because especially in the Tokyo area, you gotta think, unless you're not, if you're inside a major city, especially Tokyo, like last train is everything. The train is extremely punctual here. So around like 11:30, depending on where you live, 11:30 generally speaking is like you gotta hurry up and hustle. PM, of course, PM, of course, PM at night. We're talking about a night date. PM is like last train time, generally speaking. So if you are starting a date at 10, and you've been out with the person before, an hour and a half is not enough time to really like enjoy yourself. So generally speaking, um, that is it means you're gonna have to stay out all night at some point. Basically, it's an unwritten sign that there's not enough time to have an official date, relax, feel each other out. And if she already likes you before, it's kind of an unwritten sign that you kind of like pretend like, oh, what are we gonna do? Last train, my train's oops, I missed my train, and then you gotta figure out something to do for the night because you're stranded or she's stranded or something like that. Especially if you have some drinks, you lose track of time, stuff like that. Like, so if you've been out, I'd say, a few times with the person already, you kind of know they like you like them, push for, 10 o'clock start time. It might be tricky finding a restaurant, but find a restaurant that's open late. And, let it be known, I'll spoil something that's coming later, that hey, I don't have to work tomorrow, or something like that. Like let's hang out or something. Of course, not be like yo wink wink, but just make it seem on the surface innocent. Japan's a really indirect society. Like, oh, I just want to hang out, have fun. I'll enjoy hanging out with you. Don't worry about. I'm not worried about the time. Don't worry, I'm off tomorrow. Start time 9:30, 10 o'clock is kind of lays the foundation for you guys accidentally sleeping together. Next, number two, I don't really disagree with this. She's showing a lot of skin in her outfit. Generally, I mean, now it's kind of changing because of fashion. Like younger women, the K-pop influence. I talked about it in a previous video. K-pop influence is pretty heavy in the streets here, and so it's a lot more skin being shown, a lot more cleavage, a lot more stomach, like midriff. '90s fashion is coming back, which is a remix of '70s fashion. So, halter tops, tank tops, stuff like that. So I don't really think you can generally go by what she wears because just the general fashion here shows a lot more skin than it used to in the past. So a little bit I can't really rock with that one. You just got to kind of judge based on like your individual experience. Number three, body touch. Yeah, she touches you on the body. I mean, not like she's not like grabbing your junk or anything like that. But any physical contact, especially if she drinks and you drink, after a few drinks start flowing, I mean, she's not like throwing them back, but just having a few drinks, and because that generally is like a social lubricant and it allows like her to loosen up or pretend that she's loosening up or pretends she's tipsy and ooh, I didn't know what I'm doing. I mean, she's not gonna be like drunk and barfing under the table, but just, act a little bit giggly, a little bit, ha 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 ha, ha kind of things like that. If that happens, like that lets you know like she's either loosened up, pretending to be loose so that you'll take the lead, but just generally speaking, like it's a go sign generally. I mean, I as well wouldn't get super aggressive in that. You know, it's more playful touching, right? It's not like let me, Let me grab them things. It's not like that. Okay. Don't go in a public place. Okay. Even if you're alone. Like I think one of my first dates, I wasn't like, assaulting her, but like we got like a private booth and she couldn't speak any English at all. And like we it was like an electronic dictionary date before smartphones. And 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 like like so we were in the room. I'm like, oh cool, we here alone. Had a couple of drinks. We sitting next to each other. I'm like, what's up? And she's just like, and, I'm like trying to, and she's just like, yeah. But I mean, not like I'm not like assaulting her. Of course, I wasn't like super aggressive, but I just thought like, oh, because we were alone in a restaurant and we were having a few drinks, we were feeling each other. It was time to like get all touchy feely and set again the vector to us like doing something. But again, think about it's not like this in Japan. Like, oh yeah, we start and we escalate. It's more like that, and then it goes like vertical. So even just a little bit of like touchy feeliness lays the foundation for what can, I'm not guaranteeing it, but can come later. So just you gotta be patient and be really gentle in the beginning, and not think like I'm wasting my time or she's teasing me. It's just not the appropriate place and time for that. Right. Okay. Next, yeah, making eye contact with a person. This is eye contact with a person is prolonged eye contact with a person is a very important thing to show that you're intimate. A lot, it's like a junior high school date kind of thing. You like look at the person and then he smile and look away. Like that kind of stuff lets the person know that you are feeling them and that they're feeling you. And a lot of times women do that with the I've heard someone in the comments say with the soft eyes that when she hits you with the soft eyes, when she looks at you and you guys smile at each other, there's a moment where it's like, okay, game time. You feel it's not spoken, but the soft eyes are definitely a thing. So eye contact, prolonged eye contact, a smile, a coy look away, just pretend. Just pretend, okay? um, yeah, no actually means yes. That's a tricky thing, and a lot of like, Japanese celebrities are getting in trouble for that. Now, I would say like no does mean yes in some situations, but you have to understand what no really means no and what no really means yes. It's not like a universal thing. Well, she said no, so it's all good. No, like, and I would say take a cautious feel out approach to it. And but if you've been but not like on the first date. Again, on the first date, like I'd say, awesome. I would say like, take an incremental approach to feeling out what is okay for her. You know what I'm saying? If that makes like any kind of sense. Like if you just like, oh, she's like, yeah, nah. Maybe she's really scared. you know, like I remember one time when I was first like really getting serious with my wife, and I forgot, like we were already like physical and stuff like that. But we were hanging out, and we were like this similar kind of situation. I was like, kind of like that, play with her. She's like, go away, and she was, and I thought she was just playing, and then she was like really scared, and I was like, we talked about it, and she was like, no, because your eyes changed. Yo, what's up, Chris? She was like, your eyes changed, and I never saw, like, I thought I wasn't being super aggressive, but that was kind of, I was real we talked about it, and I realized, oh, I really have to like be super non assertive. I'm not like, you can tell I'm not like the most aggressive kind of dude either, but she just wasn't used to seeing my again facial expression, suddenly pounce, into like playful okay, yeah, it comes out sometimes, but I gotta like keep him on a leash. you I do have that dog in me sometimes. I gotta keep him on a leash in Japan. And so that would be my advice for you. Like if you do start to make eye contact or you do become do it incrementally, do it a lot less aggressively than you normally would. um e- yeah, sorry, I'd say I wouldn't get confused, get sidetracked with the comments, but yes, like women do get confused sometimes if you stop, even though they say no. Again, I'm not gonna say here like you know, if she says no, go for it. That's kind of a really slippery slope and a tricky thing to say, but you got to kind of be a little bit of awareness because it's kind of a social awareness. Japan's a really indirect society. It's not what she says; it's her atmosphere of what she does. So there's no easy answer to it. Like the more you date, the more you'll kind of get the feeling. But remember, Japan is more like what do I say? What how do I describe this? It's kind of like not planned serendipity. It's strategic serendipity mixed with plausible deniability, if you will. So she doesn't want to seem like she wants to smash. So she's gonna seem like not like you talked her into it or it just kind of happened or something like that. And it's just like, oops, oops, this accidentally last train, and oops, we accidentally ended up in a love hotel, and oops, I'm just gonna take a shower, and oops, I don't want you to touch me, but oops, I'm a little bit, tipsy, so oops, we smashed. It's like that kind of thing. So there's no real universal answer for it. But if you do take that deliberate, straightforward, let me know what it is, kind of thing, it doesn't really mix with like Japanese society. She wants you to kind of take the lead and be a man, kind of sweep her off her feet, kind of thing, like how it was in the past. But again, with modern sensibilities and things like that, you do just, you gotta, you gotta kind of use your better judgment, but at the same time, be cautious and incremental how you handle it. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, it's just a cultural awareness kind of thing that you get the hang of the longer you're here and the more girls you date. Um, Okay, let me keep going. 5. This is another one that I don't really agree with so much. She positions her body facing you more. Her body, like if you think like if you're on this side, normally she might be here or a little bit, but if she's like really opening her body towards you, is what they say. Again, I'll link the article a little bit later, but I necessarily don't 100% agree with that because this Gokon video I want to do in the future breaks down that's a small premeditated thing that some Japanese women do to show consciously that they like you, like a few years ago game kind of thing, body positioning to show this subconsciously that, like, it might happen naturally, but some girls do it purposely to get your attention, not to show that they want physical, to get with you, but just to make you like them, to draw you in. That might be something that they've read or in articles, literally in articles, and just do without having any other ulterior motive. So that alone isn't really a big thing. Body language, because some girls might just be shy, like curled up in a little ball, but really she's like, oh my gosh, she's so whatever. I don't know. so so you can't just take body language by and of itself. Like she might like you, but she there's kind of two types of Japanese women in my opinion. There's the one that are more outward and the ones that curl up inward. Like when like, oh my gosh, I like him. Remember, shame and embarrassment is in the book that I'm finishing up. Hopefully I'll be done in within this month and get it out on Amazon within this month. But um shame and embarrassment are really strong motivators here. So I want him, but I'm ashamed of it. It could be her body language as well. And it seems like she's just like traumatized, having dinner with you, but really she's likes you so much she becomes embarrassed. That so I don't know, body language is always the only main thing. Next, number 6, related to one is last close to last train, she wants to have another drink. Having another drink could be like, let's get out of here, go to another bar. That's why in previous videos you heard me say, always have a plan B spot ready, something to do. Young James, in his the video I reviewed of his, he talked about having karaoke lined up as another possible place. Again, that's a really big win on second or third date. Nice dinner, maybe a bar. Let's do something else. Karaoke. If we're in the area, of her place, you heard me talk about it before. Short taxi ride there. Short taxi ride to your place. Not at your station because that's too obvious, but one or two stops away, nearest the closest station. For both of you guys is more plausible deniability. Like, well, because remember, foresight isn't really a big thing in Japan. So, oh well, what are we gonna do? Okay, well, we can just take a taxi back to my place. Let's grab some. Yeah, I remember the young James story about that. That's what I'm thinking about too. Um, for me, that's more of just like he needs a little bit more experience with the nuances. I know exactly the story you're talking about. He needs a little bit more experience with the nuances of those intimate moments and reading Japanese women's body language. He still has kind of like, of course, his Japanese is great, and he's still living a single life, but just the far of the unwritten part of it, at that point, I don't know how long he was in Japan when that happened, but I was there too, where I'm just confused, just like what is going on, but you're speaking different languages, literally, you're speaking different languages physically, and you're speaking different love languages. Think about it like that. It's two different cultures, two different love languages. So you got to find a way to really translate that. And that's all you're really trying to do is translate her love language to figure out what the signs that she's putting out, right? Because she's not gonna know how to translate into your language unless she's been with a lot of foreign guys. Um, but yeah, so that's just what it is, I think. But I know exactly the story you're talking about. But yeah, around your last train, one more drink, or if she looks like it, you can suggest one more drink. Do you want to go for one more? And again, I wouldn't say let's go for one more drink. I'd say, oh, well, I'm having so much fun with you. If the date's going well, I'm having so much fun. Oh man, like let's. You want to do something else? Let's do something else. Something like that. Again, not ask. Do you want to do something else? Ask slash suggest. And then if she's like, no, 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 okay, it's a wrap. But if she's like, think about it, oh, come on, then you can kind of take the lead, not push too much, but suggest stuff like that. Thank you guys, 20 people in here. Thank you guys for the love. Let's keep it going. Um, Please hit the likes, of course. That helps out a lot after the stream is finished. Next is number 7. She keeps her phone in her bag and doesn't take it out. Again, I can't really judge based on that. It's not a obvious sign for me. She might be interested in you seeing who you are. She might just be respectful. I can't really say that's because she puts her phone in her bag so she wants to smash. Like, I'm not gonna go that far, So that one I a little bit can't really agree with. Um, I mentioned it before. Number 8, she says she is off work tomorrow. This is a really important sign to listen for. And don't ask her like, "Oh, you working tomorrow?" Nothing like that. But if you mention like, I would probably, if it were me and I was single, I would probably mention it first, like after, not at the beginning of the date. Please no. Like, okay, because that just puts up a red flag. I'm here to smash. After the dinners, I've also heard Japanese women say food is a really big aphrodisiac for women. So on a full stomach, they become more, in the mood. Like, so it's not like I want to just eat and use you for food or anything like that. Get some food in her stomach, some maybe yakiniku or Korean barbecue, or something like that, something good. It doesn't have to be super expensive. It could be just regular Korean barbecue, a few drinks flowing. Then she'll start to loosen up a little bit. This is so good, oishi. Once you hear that, oh, and her wiggling around like a like a worm, you know, like a fish out of water. And once you see her start doing stuff like this, like, oh, then she's had a few drinks. Then I might say, "Oh, I'm having so much fun! Yay, yay, yay! Oh, I don't, and mention something naturally that you don't have to work tomorrow or something like that." And then she might say, like, reciprocated as well or something like that. But it has to be natural. It has to be kind of done under the radar. That's the important thing. But if she mentions she's off tomorrow, that's a huge, 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 huge go green light. Huge green light. Get your big strap in. Get your big boy pants on. Okay. All right. Next, number 9. This is all would be close to last train. She pretends to be sleepy, right? This will be again close to last train, right? This is kind of all in the realm of, it's a dance, right? Where her being close to last train, not like she's bored. It's more, maybe she might be bored, might pretend to lean on you or put her, things like that. Aphrodisiac, I need that. She might pretend to lean on you, or something like that. You can put your arm around her, or something like that. Again, not I wouldn't go for the kiss in public or things like that, even in the karaoke. But it's kind of, that's where the body touching can kind of come in, and then you can kind of, oh, you look sleepy. Why don't we get some coffee and go to XYZ kind of place, or get some dessert and do something to talk a little bit. I would say talk a little bit more. I want to talk more. Go someplace where you can talk. I you know I've never been a huge love hotel kind of guy. Um, and but so I'm not really the best love hotel move kind of guy to give advice, but I would say, like, okay, if you have the budget or you want to, or you're not near her house and you're like, okay, I'm going to splurge on a love hotel, you might say go to a love hotel to talk, you know. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. I got no love hotel riz at all, right? um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Look for her getting sleepy, right? That's one, and one more. Um, yeah, if she says she wants to be with you more, like moto ishoni itai, right? That's like a huge red sign. She doesn't want you to go, right? That means like she wants you to stay. She wants you to make her feel comfortable. If you go back to the young James um, video, she talked about the girl said she didn't want him to go, and he was like, "Confused. What do you want?" Right? She wants the D. Okay, she just doesn't want to say it. Right? That's what that means. So she wants to fool around. At least get to second base. At least wants to get to second base, right? Or she wants you to get to second base. So like yeah, I saying I want to be with you more in Japanese has it basically means like it's kind of the equivalent of a Japanese girl saying I don't want to be alone tonight or I don't want to be alone. Like it's kind of like that, right? So I don't want to be alone tonight. Or I don't want to be alone means I want you to be with me. I want you to hold me. I want you to love me. I want you to make me feel safe. All that stuff, right? That's kind of what it means. So I think a few of those are really, really important for you to remember. Um, Look out for. Again, there's no universal formula. It really depends on you. It depends on her. It depends on the situation. Just these are a few of the signs again to help you recognize her love language, and communicate more in her love language for you both to come together. Again, my goal is not to just give you guys stuff to make you score. It's just really to bridge the gap between you guys because I think a lot of the problems that I see come from where I had to deal with it too, was just not speaking their language. And if you can speak their language and understand more what she's saying and you can kind of communicate where she in a way that she understands what you're saying, then the cards will fall, I think, in a better way for both of you guys' favor. So so if you're a big guy with not oh no. Height, like I was seeing something as well. Height isn't really a big issue here. Of course, big, but in Japan, like being average, like unless you're like 5'2", like like and I've seen like short dudes with taller women. That's fine. Like like 5'7" is like average height here. 5'7" is average height here. So if you're like 5'7", 5'8", you're a little bit above average height. And like there's girls who are like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4" as well. So it doesn't take much. Like I'm but no, I mean weight isn't really the thing either. Like, it really depends on your atmosphere, it depends on um yeah, thank you. Being not direct, not so much of course direct, but like taking the lead, being friendly, having an atmosphere that makes her feel comfortable. Then if she asks where to stay tonight as a go, yeah, where are you gonna stay is like a huge, like, she's moist right now. She says that, right? Jesus. Okay. But okay. All right. I gotta get out of here though. I gotta get out of here just because I don't need to chill for a little bit before I start running around with my kids and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. Let me know with a comment and stuff like that. As always, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I'm having fun doing these. More stuff to come. My schedule from this month is a little bit crazy. Yeah, a game doesn't vary with your ethnicity. It depends on your personality, right? And it depends on the type of girl she is. So it's a lot of variables. I can't give like, oh, this ethnicity is that. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no, I am. I want to do more lives, like especially when my schedule kind of balances out a little bit more. Like I just been super busy this month, last month, this month, hopefully March or April from spring, especially now that I'm a little bit more monetized. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more time to like shrink my work schedule a little bit and make a little bit more time. I want to get like a dedicated day for like, live streams, editing, stuff like that. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm hoping. Hopefully, my book will push me over, and then I'll start to be able to have more dedicated schedule to this and stuff like that. So I'm working my way there, you guys, this year, and upgrade my equipment, and then upgrade my equipment, get a more steady kind of income. Then I'll be able to shift my a little bit more of my priorities to this and have more dedicated times and days and regular live stream shows and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I was thinking about starting a Discord. I'm not huge into Discord. I gotta look into it. I looked into it a little bit, but again, that come remember, I got two kids, right? So if I was single, I would say like I could be all over it. But my uploading. I haven't done any other really social media platforms. I'm only on here right now. A little bit dabbling in TikTok. I'm just starting to work scale up the process of it. So I'm hoping like later on this year I can, upload a regular basis, like all the platforms, and yeah, I would like to have a Discord. I just don't want to do something and then like have to like stop doing it because just abandon it like that. Or like that's why again I'm not doing Patreon and stuff like that because I just don't want to abandon stuff like that. Like if I do it, I want to make sure I can have time dedicated to actually do it. Right now you have no idea what my schedule is like right now. Like it's crazy. So um I'm hoping come in the near future, like in these next couple months as I scale up, it will allow me more stuff and to add more value to you guys. Like I said before, the more value I feel like the more value I give to you guys, the more videos I upload, the more stuff I do, the more books I make, the more free content I do as well. The free materials I give out as well. I know that's gonna come back, and then which will give me more time to do more stuff, and it'll just like snowball that way. That's all I'm trying to do. So and balance my life and family as I do that. But yeah, yeah. All right, so that's it for now. I'm gonna go chill. Thank you guys as always, and I'm gonna holla at y'all soon. Peace.